y'all? What's up? How are y'all? I missed y'all. I missed y'all a lot. Obviously, bro, I've been recording gameplay. I've been recording this. I've been motherfucking everywhere. But regardless, I'm mad as shit because I've always really, not always, but I saw this video pop up and I wanted to watch this shit. But regardless, the death of mainstream, wherever I'm putting this bitch. Yeah, the death of mainstream, bro. Patrick CC. And I feel like that shit is mad fucking important to talk about, actually, bro. But that being said, nigga, lock it in with me, chat. Damn.
There is more high quality content available than ever before, and yet most people feel like there is something missing. There was once a time where it felt like we were all on the same wavelength when it came to entertainment and
Yo, look at this shit. Oh my god, bro. Fucking goosebumps. Beverly Hills Ninja. Nah, the fucking science guy, bro. Crash Bandicoot. Yo, bro, there's a lot of just nostalgia in this motherfucker, bro. Fucking Chip and Dale, Simba, Chuck E. Cheese, fucking war. Oh my god. Back to the Future. Oh my god. Goonies, fucking Twisted Metal. Ugh, all this shit. Are You Afraid of the Dark?
movies were bigger,
The best
music
one,
spread further, famous people were actually famous,
bro.
awards meant something, and if there was a shocking story in the news, it was impossible to miss. It was much
Chat. Did he do it?
something, and if there was a shocking story
Did he or did he not do it?
in the news, it was impossible to miss. It was much easier to have your finger on the pulse of pop culture, and it created this bond that we had together as strangers. And we took it for granted because now that that bond is gone, the world of entertainment, music, movies, shows, social media feels oversaturated, confusing, and dull. I bet most of you can relate to this. How many times these days does someone say to you, "Hey, did you hear about," or "Hey, did you see," and not only is your answer no, but you literally have no idea what they're talking about. Life?
Bro, you don't have any fucking like nah, not you don't have nah, some of you niggas probably do have clues, bro. Because sometimes, bro, your homies or sometimes motherfuckers be coming up to you like, yo, you seen such and such, or you know what the fuck going on, and I'm like, bro, no. Like I know what's on my For You page, I know what's on my shit. I know what I see. I don't know what the fuck y'all seeing, but I just know what I see.
And for the past few years is a monoculture, which is essentially one culture that all Americans are connected to. Sometimes I even call it the death of mainstream, because nothing really feels mainstream anymore. Every decade had their own version of monoculture that was seemingly easily defined. But what will define the 2020s? Every generation before Gen Alpha had limited options for entertainment, and they thought it was a burden, flipping through TV channels saying, oh, there's nothing to watch. But now our options are infinite. 3.7 million YouTube videos uploaded every day.
I feel like that's the problem though. With YouTube, it's more because a lot of niggas are going to streaming. A lot of niggas are streaming. It's just a back and forth, bro. But the thing about with YouTube, yes, there are a shit ton of videos getting uploaded every day, every second in the fucking hour, bro. But what was I gonna say? Oh, but the thing about with YouTube, bro, it depends on who you are watching. Because yes, videos get uploaded on this bitch every single day, but it just all still depends on who you are watching.
One streaming service with every song ever made and 100,000 new songs being uploaded every day. Dozens of subscription services with thousands of movies and TV shows. A literal endless singular feed of short form videos that one can spend hours.
Chat, how y'all feel about TikTok? I don't know, bro. TikTok is wishy-washy for me, bro. Because, man, bro, TikTok be wishy-washy for me sometimes, bro.
We don't want no smoke.
Nothing beats a Jet 2 holiday. And right now,
About that feeling like something is missing. I believe it is tied to the death of monoculture. So let's dive into how we got here, where it went wrong, and actually why some of you might consider it to be a good thing. Entertainment has always evolved based on the available technology. The easier it is to consume, the less evolved based on.
Imagine it, bro. Look at this shit. I could not imagine doing this shit. You mean to tell me every nigga has to take turns like having the headphones on, listening through this big ass horn or some shit? I don't know, bro. But this shit just looks This looks more complicated than actual like monitor or something.
it is to consume, the less impactful it is. Movie theater ticket sales had their all-time peak in the US in 1946. Over 90 million weekly admissions were recorded, which means that about 60% of the US population went to go see a movie that year. Now, were movies objectively better in 1946? Absolutely not. There were just less of them, and less entertainment overall. The introduction of the television likely slowed down movie ticket sales, but opened up a whole new opportunity for entertainment, cartoons, sitcoms, and of course, ads. Television has its limitations. You had to watch the show at the exact time it aired, or you missed it and had to wait for someone to tell you what happened the next day. Or even worse, you had to read this book called the TV Guide to figure out when they were going to air a rerun. Plus, there were only a few channels, so competition for attention was fierce. Carved out to entertain yourself was between 7 and 10. This was known as prime time, and that's when the few good shows were on. Families watched the same things together, and a new episode airing at 8 p.m. on a weeknight could dominate school hallways and office.
I had a dream. Because you see a lot more niggas than you. I like this. You see a lot more niggas. I like this. I do like this.
You could stay up for late night television where Letterman would catch you up on all your pop culture news.
Like
we were connected as humans, kind of operating on the same wavelength, and the entertainment added to our humanity. That is, unless you were entirely disinterested from the few available shows and movies, then you had no other options, your life sucked, and you were looking for other forms of entertainment like heroin. But at least back then, it didn't have fentanyl in it. Like heroin. But at least back then, it didn't have fentanyl in it. Consumed movies and televisions.
We don't do none of that over here.
Stayed relatively the same for decades. By the 1970s, 95% of households had a TV.
Whose goddamn white baby is that?
A massive uptick in available entertainment, like an entire TV channel dedicated to showing music videos, or an entire channel dedicated to showing cartoons.
Go! Nigga! Chat, were y'all a Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, or a Disney Channel person, bro? Or even Boomerang? I mean, I think Boomerang and Cartoon Network basically are the same shit. But, like, bro, I feel like Cartoon Network, bro, these niggas is the undisputed GOAT. Think about it, bro. Like, what other shit was popping? Nick, they ain't got shit on these niggas. They don't. Like, think about it, bro. We had, man, because we had a shit ton of bangers come out of fucking Cartoon Network, bro. We got Gumball, we got Adventure Time, regular show. Nigga, we had Smurfs, nigga, we had fucking Flintstones, we had, oh, I forgot this nigga. But we had a lot of motherfuckers, bro. But, bro, Johnny Quest? Is that Johnny Quest? Yes.
Even with more niche options, primetime shows still dominated pop culture, and Americans still felt a sense of togetherness through a somewhat limited availability. Is music not hitting the same anymore? Doesn't it feel like you used to have a connection with others based on a shared love for the same music? Well, music had a similar permeating connection to monoculture with a few key differences. For most of the 20th century, music was somewhat of a luxury. Today, for $15 a month, you can get access to every song ever made and 100,000 new ones uploaded daily. $15 used to get you one album, and you had to take your happy ass to a record store and physically buy it. And if the album was in high enough demand, they might not actually have it. And that seems like a dumb thing to say, but in our modern culture, entertainment is never not available to you. The gathering place for music fans. It wasn't unusual for artists to stop in and play mini concerts or sign albums before an appearance in a particular city. When people bought an album, they were now invested. They worked hard for that money. So to get the value back, they actually listened to the whole thing. They even tried to like the songs that they didn't initially like because they paid for it, which ultimately made them appreciate the artistry on a different depth.
And it's not like today, bro, where if you got a lot of shitty songs in your album, bro, we skipping that motherfucker. Simple as that, bro. Like, nigga, if your song ain't hitting within the first, like, 30 seconds to damn near a minute, bro, that shit getting skipped. Easily. That shit is easily getting skipped. Like, nigga, I'm not finna put myself through that shit fuck you got going?
Had to imagine what their favorite musicians were like based on lyrics, a few interviews, and carefully staged photographs in magazines or posters on their wall. There was a mystique. Pop stars felt larger than life, almost like fictional characters, which is why people would pass out at the mere sight of Michael Jackson. Today we have countless interviews and endless access to all of their thoughts and opinions on social media. That mystery is gone. Artists are more accessible than ever.
What the fuck? Bro, Drake, this obviously is old as shit, but Drake, you gotta... I don't know what it is, bro. Obviously, yes, it's old. This nigga got the heart in his shit. Drake, you gotta stop taking pictures like this. He still does this shit. This isn't like an old thing. Matter of fact, this shit, deadass, if you were to tell me Drake deadass took this picture like 20 minutes ago, like today, I would believe this shit. I would actually believe this shit. Drake, you gotta... This light skin shit you got going, I get it, but you gotta... I don't even know what... I for real don't get it. Drake, you gotta cut a lot of this shit out.
A luxury. Most people didn't have tons of disposable income to buy every release they wanted to listen to.
Bro, my bad. Just going back and roast. This nigga Loki looks like the one bitch... Not one bitch, my bad, y'all. This nigga Loki looks like that one chick from Euphoria. I'm trying to think. He looks like a character in Euphoria. I don't know what it is, but like, he just does, bro. I don't know, but Drake, please, for the love of God, don't ever do this shit again.
Typically resorted to listening to the radio or watching MTV. You couldn't just search your favorite Guns N' Roses song and get that instant gratification. You had to turn on MTV and just wait for it to come on, but in the meantime, you were consuming tons of other good songs that made you a more well-rounded music listener. And that was the same predicament for everyone. So at school dances, parties, or clubs, everyone felt connected because the songs that were being played were the ones that everyone had the same access to. A lot of club DJs today still mostly play music from the 2010s, and a lot of people wonder why they aren't playing more modern music. Like, are we all crippled by nostalgia? Well, not necessarily, but when you play music from the 2010s, you can kind of guarantee that everyone in the club is going to know those songs. Whereas today, everyone just listens to vastly different music. What's considered extremely popular and mainstream to you might literally not be considered extremely popular and mainstream to the person next to you. Most people have resorted to just letting the algorithm decide what music to recommend to them because it's easier than doing all of the effort I just talked about before. Combine this lack of mono connectivity through music, requiring absolutely no effort to get access to the music, as well as artists not having the star power due to overexposure, and surprise, surprise, music holds absolutely no value to the average casual listener. Once we entered the
Because niggas don't listen to shit. Fucking Pusha T and Clips were talking about this on the album, but the thing about music, even Lucky says this shit, bro. Even like about music, bro. This shit is different, like he said, but like a lot of niggas are just, they're more consumed by beat and how they can move rather than them actually listening to this shit. And I get it, my nigga, you want to turn your brain off sometimes, bro, but half of y'all just be bullshitting. Y'all know y'all be bullshitting. Y'all won't be listening to this shit. Y'all don't listen to shit. And when niggas call you out for not listening to shit, you niggas have an opinion all of a sudden about what music is like. And it's like, no.
of available technology caused a dominant monoculture to become more fragmented. TVs were becoming cheaper, bigger, and higher quality. The internet was getting faster, becoming easier to access, and
bro, I knew you niggas had when they had like a big ass TV with a fat ass like booty behind that motherfucker, bro. That fat ass trunk, bro. I knew niggas was rich, bro. Y'all know what I'm talking about, bro. I'll pull up like a picture or some shit. But them big ass like TVs with the antennas and shit. Yeah.
Navigate. Cell phones were in everyone's pocket. We were becoming more connected than ever, but we didn't realize it was actually going to drive us further apart. In my opinion, 2000 to 2010 was a great sweet spot for pop culture. I would describe today's culture as everything all at once, and the early 2000s was the same, but it was slightly more manageable. Let's start simple. Movies. Here's a graph of every movie released per year around.
Look at, what is this? What year is this? 2017, 2018, 2019. What year had the most released movies? Hold on. Is this 20... Okay. 2019, is that what I'm looking? Yes. It looks like 2019, right? What movies came out? I'm trying to think. What movies did come? I'm thinking like a lot of like Avengers films and a lot of like superhero films had to have come out, and like a lot of classics in 2019. Because yeah, look at a lot of this shit, bro. Look at 2024. It wasn't that many like wow. 2023, I got it. These numbers actually shocked the shit out of me. I'm not even gonna go.
Movies released remained relatively the same from the early
That's what I'm
1970s to the
saying.
late 1990s, and it just started slowly ramping up in the 2000s before it exponentially exploded. Back then, there was a rhythm to it all. You'd get 2 or 3 massive blockbusters every summer, movies like Spider-Man, Pirates of the Caribbean, or The Dark Knight, which dominated culture for weeks. As fall and winter rolled in, you'd see small
Chat, best Spider-Man is Andrew Garfield. Yeah, I said it, my nigga. It's irrelevant. Best Batman is fucking Ben Affleck. Yes, I said it, my nigga. And that shit is off topic, but it don't matter. Moving on.
smaller budget, more experimental, or just simple films rise to the surface. Movies like Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, Little Miss Sunshine, Juno, and Requiem for a Dream. Everyone kind of knew what was coming and when it was coming, and that predictability created a shared sense of anticipation. Even smaller budget films had a shot at becoming massive, and the reason they had a shot was because people actually went to the theaters. Our last peak in movie theater ticket sales was in 2002 when 1.5 billion tickets were sold. But even if you didn't...
Okay, no, that's not fair. Because 2002, bro, niggas was releasing classics. Upon classics, upon classics, upon classics, upon... Like, I'm talking 2002, niggas was in a bag with movies, bro. Because I'm thinking you had a lot of, like, actors who were coming up in the 2002s, I believe. But you had a lot of like actors who were small and now they're like, you know, everywhere and shit like that. You got a lot of Nepo babies and shit running around too. But before all that shit, you had motherfuckers who actually gave a fuck. Now no one gives a fuck. We'll get shitty movies and then it's like literally instead of getting 2 to 3, we'll get shitty movie, and then we'll get a banger. And then all of them are just shitty from here on out.
It's called DVDs, where you could buy the movie that you missed and watch it at home. And if you didn't want to commit to buying it, no worries. You could rent the film for a few bucks by going to this magical place called Blockbuster. This is a store where you could essentially browse all of the movies that you didn't get the chance to see. You would actually talk to the employee who worked there, and they would give you a recommendation or tell you what everyone else is renting. Sometimes a movie was in such high demand that all of their copies would be rented and you couldn't get it. Imagine that. Imagine any form of entertainment being unavailable for you today.
Rip Block. Oh, dog. Fucking memories.
City created demand, and it made the film more exciting. It made you want to watch it more. Most of those crappy yet special early 2000s comedies were the perfect films to pick up at a Blockbuster, and people loved that place. The company earned $5 billion in revenue in 2004. The point is that you and everyone around you had this physical connection with the entertainment and was actively using their brain to choose what they wanted to consume. TV was in its best era, in my opinion, having a plethora of terrible yet oddly captivating reality TV shows and experimental series while still having their sister network, MTV2, play music videos 24/7. It was one of the most...
I remember MTV2 with a fucking passion, bro. Oh my god.
Versatile eras for mainstream music with lyrical rap, crunk rap, rock, emo rock, country, pop, EDM, R&B, and countless other genres in a healthy rotation on MTV and the radio. Kids were absolutely consumed by Nickelodeon, Disney Channel, and Cartoon Network, which were 3 separate networks that each had 2 to 3 shows worth paying attention to.
Not even just 2 to 3, bro. Let's go back to what he just said.
Kids were absolutely consumed.
Think about it. Double Dare, bro. Ren and Stimpy. Fucking Keenan and Kale. The Amanda Show. Like Drake and Josh. Fucking, I'm trying to think. Zoe 101. Like, just, I'm just shows that would cook. Fucking iCarly. Like, Victorious. All this other shit. You feel me? Shows that would absolutely cook. Nigga, SpongeBob is still on till, even though that shit is not worth a damn nowadays, but SpongeBob is still on to this day, my nigga. Older seasons of SpongeBob obviously will blow anything out the fucking water, bro.
Owned by Nickelodeon, Disney Channel.
Then you got Disney, my nigga. Camp Rock in them. Sonny with a Chance in them. Jonas Brothers in them. Damn, like we had fucking Let It Shine. All that shit. Lab Rats, my nigga. Kicking It. bro, Pair of Kings. I know that's a wild card. If you remember that, you remember that shit, bro. You're goated for that.
And Cartoon Network, which were 3 separate networks that each had 2 to 3 shows worth paying attention to in their respective eras. We still had a healthy separation between our personal lives and our school and work life from 9 to 5, only entertaining ourselves lightly in the morning and in the evenings. We didn't have a phone to distract us from literally every millisecond of boredom. The entertainment options still felt limited enough that you could feel like everyone around you was on the same wavelength. Plus, we were still at the mercy of knowing the schedule of when new shows were going to air. But that started to die when cable companies provided DVR capabilities. You could now record your favorite shows and movies and watch them later whenever you wanted. You could now...
Chat. These remotes always either, like, it was one or two things with these fucking remotes. Either they worked and one of them bitches turned up, like, the volume and, like, they did everything for the TV. There was another remote. Like, there are too many remotes for these fucking cable boxes. But you also had another one that literally was just like a remote. It would just turn on and off the TV. I don't know if that was just y'all, but that was me. But, bro, I would lose these bitches so fucking much. Bro, when I was a kid, nigga, these remotes, I'm telling you right now, the batteries, the back, the whole remote, nigga, everything would be lost.
was the beginning of the streaming service era takeover that so many people today loathe. Today, you may feel like you are not as connected to the culture because 1, less people are going to the theaters, and 2, the DVD and TV business has been demolished by streaming services like Netflix, Hulu, HBO Max, etc. Being able to stream anything, anywhere, anytime, all while being alone in your room means there's no anticipation, no excitement, nobody to share the experience with, and therefore no real reason to watch, which is why you simply scroll and scroll through endless choices, waiting for something to magically grab your attention, waiting for something to give you a reason to watch, but it just never happens. Every now and again, we do have a monoculture moment. I think back to the Barbie movie where girls were excited to dress in all pink and...
The Barbie movie, we've had fucking, Oppenheimer, I don't know, Minecraft movie, that's what I was thinking of, when niggas was just being dumb, bro, and oh my god, bro, don't fucking remind me.
Drag their boyfriends to the theaters, only for the guys to immediately after drag their girls to see Oppenheimer, where I'm assuming many of them fell asleep. I think back to Squid Games, where it felt like everyone and their mother was blindsided by this dystopian critique of capitalism disguised as a up game show. As far as films go, it feels like it's only every couple of years where there is a moment that we are all in sync, when it used to be literally all year, every year. I don't even know what anybody's listening to anymore. For TV, Yellowstone, Severance, White Lotus, Love Island.
If you haven't watched Severance, Severance is goated.
What anybody's listening to anymore. For TV, Yellowstone, Severance.
I haven't watched Yellowstone, but if you haven't watched Severance, watch Severance. It's actually goated.
White Lotus, Love Island.
I don't watch Love Island. I'm not even trying to get into this shit. Hey, man, to those that watch Love Island, props to you.
I mean, they are extremely popular, but can we say everyone is watching those shows? Will those shows define this era? I bet there are a ton of you watching that are like, I didn't watch a single one of those shows. The irony of it all is that the death of a unified culture everyone seems to be feeling came with our pursuit to be more connected.
I will say, nigga, watch Severance and The Boys, bro. Because them bitches both, like, actually, I will say Severance, you can take some of what Severance does in a reality because, yeah.
Than ever before, because the adaptation of the internet and social media into our everyday lives was the nail in the coffin for monoculture. By the turn of the century, everyone with extra cash had a computer somewhere in the house. Our parents were using them to basically replace what the newspaper did for decades. As the desktops and internet connection got faster, we looked at forums, chatted through AOL Instant Messenger, played simple flash games on Newgrounds, and even bid on random antiques from eBay. Being connected to random people all over the world was beautiful. You were no longer limited to the thoughts, beliefs, and interests of those in your geographical location. The internet was still somewhat difficult to navigate. You know, there was a time when Google didn't have all the answers. You had to check other search engines like Yahoo and my favorite, Ask Jeeves to find what you were looking for. Using the internet kind of felt like exploring uncharted land. That friction, scarcity, and lack of instant gratification was what made it special. It was worth working for. Today, we just expect things to work. We demand convenience, and we are willing to give up our human autonomy for it. Initially, the entertainment industry as a whole saw the internet as a threat because of piracy. Suddenly, millions of people could download movies, music, and TV shows
I think it's funny as fuck. They were scared of the internet, and now all of a sudden Hollywood is working with the internet. How the fucking irony.
for free through networks like Napster, LimeWire, and torrent sites, completely bypassing traditional revenue models. Studios, labels, and networks feared the collapse of their business structures.
Look at this shit. By 2010, a lot of motherfuckers have streaming, like, subscriptions. Look, bro, this shit is just... I mean, I got a couple of them, so I really can't obviously cap. My nigga, we all got Hulu. Damn.
As the internet stripped them of control, and for the first time, the consumer had the power to access content without paying a cent. From the consumer's perspective, the logic was simple. Why pay for something when you can get it for free instantly? Piracy wasn't just about being cheap, it was about convenience. Buying a CD or DVD meant going to a store, spending 10 to 20 bucks, and hoping you'd like the full album or movie. Then again, people didn't realize the
So you niggas
nuanced
was basically
value
going to the store with 20 bucks in your pockets, hopes and dreams, and a fingers crossed moment. Oh, get the fuck, no.
of the additional human experiences they got while consuming entertainment. All that driving to the store, talking to people, limited inventory, sitting on a sticky theater seat, that was all just considered to be an inconvenient cost to getting what you wanted. But you couldn't argue against the value that the internet brought to individuals. It gave everyone a voice, a platform, and endless options tailored exactly to their preferences. And that ramped up significantly in 2003 when MySpace became the first widely accepted platform for social media, 300 million users, and had an estimated valuation of over $10 billion. The platform allowed people to share their personal passions and stories as individuals. If nobody in your real life aligned with your interests, you would be able to find a community of like-minded people online. People started calling random strangers on the internet their friends. They became invested in their
Basically like
lives, wanting to know what they were doing in their geographical location. Your connection to random people around the world started to make you disconnected from those physically around you. Slowly, the digital world began to feel more important than the physical one. Platforms evolved, first with Facebook, then Instagram, and eventually TikTok. The focus shifted even further away from a shared experience and towards personal branding. Algorithms were designed not to connect people as a whole, but to keep you personally engaged, feeding you content you already agreed with or found entertaining. The internet became less of a town square and more of an echo chamber, reflecting only your own tastes, beliefs, and biases back at you.
That's such cap, bro. Because I can't be the only one that be scrolling through TikTok sometimes, bro, and they be bullshitting with my For You page. Along with Instagram, bro. You niggas is not slick. Y'all be pulling up a lot of bullshit on my page, bro. You niggas is not slick.
Nuances. However, with a shift in mentality, you could look at all of this as a good thing. If you are a strong-minded individual, introverted, or just someone who doesn't really care about a sense of community and those around you, you are in the golden ages. For decades, if you didn't fit into the narrow lens of what the mainstream deemed valuable, if you didn't like the biggest pop star, or wear the right clothes, or relate to the 5 TV shows everyone else watched, you were invisible. You had nowhere to go. You were the weird kid, the quiet one, the one who didn't belong. But now, the internet gives you infinite options to find belonging, and literally any interest you may have, no matter how unique it is, chances are there is a niche community where someone like you isn't just accepted, you're celebrated. Do you like wolves eating watermelons? So do 61,000 other people. Do you like stapling bread to trees? So do 335,000 other people. A girl who was once mocked in school for drawing anime characters in her notebook can become a full-time artist with a fan base of thousands.
And I think that's funny, bro. To the people that drew anime and shit in school, bro, props to y'all, because y'all motherfuckers are most likely artists and doing whatever y'all want to do with your life. So props to y'all.
Millions. A kid who was laughed at for making weird songs on his cracked BandLab app can go viral on TikTok and then chart on the Spotify Viral 50. A filmmaker with no connections and no budget can put their short film on YouTube and have it resonate with millions of people around the world. These stories were impossible in the monoculture era because the gatekeepers decided what was and what wasn't. Before the internet, independence was next to impossible, and today the gatekeepers have less power than ever. Maybe we are no longer all connected under a simple, easy to navigate monoculture, but there is more opportunity than ever for a small independent creator to get a taste of that success. And for consumers, if you know what your interests are and do not let algorithms decide what you want to watch and are willing to do the tedious task to actively get outside of the echo chamber that these algorithms are trying to hold you in and find that one quality YouTuber or that one underrated Hulu series, then you are probably completely fine with today's entertainment climate. Build your own world. Who cares about community? This is your life. Now, I personally go back and forth on my feelings towards
Chad, this is like us. We're building this community, and we building this bitch strong. Hell yeah.
niche, which is why you see so many successful channels being repetitive, because that is literally what works. I try to keep a balance, and because of that, some videos get more views than others, some videos bomb, but I hope you enjoy me keeping that old early 2000s variety. You can come to my channel to keep you updated with modern pop culture and feel some tiny slice of that monoculture we all used to love. Also, this was kind of a different style of video for my channel. I usually stick to documentaries that are objective and fact-based, but recently I've just kind of been wanting to switch it up a little bit. So I'll be looking at the comments to see what you guys think about this.
Anyways, shit, Patrick. I loved it. But realistically, he's not wrong. Because, yeah, shit, dog, really. Anyways, y'all,